The plumes of smoke emerging from the Belize sugar industry compound on Tower Hill are generated from their energy production plant. The company burns bagasse, the waste from sugarcane used to produce sugar, to produce energy. A percentage of that energy powers the factory's operations, and a percentage is sold to the country's power grids. And in those plumes, naturally, there are ashes floating around from the burning of the bagasse. Saidi Lainez, EHS Regional Manager at B.S.I, explained that it is these ash particles that cause the dark coloration in the plumes of smoke.
It's just like dust, you know? It's dust. Essentially, it's an allergen, I would say, so perhaps that would have been the biggest issue. Even here, as we sit, if we are not used to having a lot of dust as we have around the area, then it's something similar. It's particulate matter, not really something that is chemical. A lot of people have this misconception that, oh, it's chemicals coming out of that stock. It's a plume, but essentially what makes it dark is when you burn paper, it's dark. It's just the nature of it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad.
While the ashes are not necessarily bad, by DOE standard, the volume of particles being emitted into the air by the company was double the particulate emission parameter. The factory's electric-based air emission system, referred to as the electrostatic system precipitator, ESP for short, was identified as one of the causes of the problem.
So what's the function of the ESP? It's simply to collect the ash particles, not to go into the air. So how does this work? Electrostatic precipitator. It uses electricity to charge the particles, the ash particles, so they collect on a opposite pole charged plate. So if you have a positive and a negative, they both merge and then it collects on the plate. This then is agitated or vibrated, and then it falls down to the bottom into a hopper, which is conveyed into another hopper, which is then transported outside the facility.
That system became antiquated and grew inefficient over time, causing the need for a newer, more updated one. Installed during the off-season on one of B.S.I's 2 boilers, a new air emission system came into commission only a couple weeks ago. Instead of electric fields, it uses a dust collector and a wet scrubber, described as a dry system and a wet system.
The bigger particles, ash particles, are collected by the dust collector. Whatever smaller particles that are not collected by the dust collector is then sprayed with water, as it says, a wet scrubber system. All it's doing is wetting the particles that then, due to gravity, heads downwards, then it goes into the clarifier.
This is the clarifier, a hot bath of steaming water and ash particles that would have made it into the air we breathe, if not for the wet scrubber. It collects at the bottom of the chimney, transfers into the clarifier, where the ash is separated from the water. The water is then recycled through one of the several open air ponds on the compound. This is the ash particles removed by the dust collector. This would have also made it into the air, leading to potentially severe allergy flare-ups.
This first phase of the investment of $6 million is part of a total investment of $11 million we're doing to replace the air emission system for the power plant. It's really an important milestone for us. We're really proud of this achievement.
The upgrade in the quality of air now emitted from the power plant is evident. The new system discharges a thick white plume, which is the cleaner air, while the old electric system emits a darker plume.
It's a positive project for the for the community. We have over 99% of our employees here are Belizeans, and a lot of them work in this community. So even our employees are extremely proud that we've been able to bring these 2 major projects to fruition, and we look forward to completing the second phase, which will be done in this off-crop period on the second boiler, so that going forward you will see 2 very clean air emission stocks.
And in case you are wondering what becomes of the dust and wet ash particles, those are trucked off the compound and used in fields across the north to improve the soil's quality. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.